Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Klock Hour. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna be on a hiatus for a minute. So basically, this is really my last show for a little while. Things happened, but I'm gonna still give you a great show today, and we don't want to be sad about it, but it is what it is. I got a very, very special guest, the man that was part of my start up here in TV land, my man Poppa T. Poppa T, how you been, man?
Fantastic clockwork.
Been all right. I've been waiting to do this. I think I did it way back when I first started, but
I'm proud to be a part of it and proud to see you doing what you're doing.
Right, because you basically. I came in as a guest and you said, here, you're going to host. I'm going to what? You got it. You got it.
I take you down to a show, doing live showcases, right? And I tell you, not only you the performer, you the DJ and the host.
You got it. I'm like, and then my team looking at me like, yo. I said, man, yo, it is what it is. But you know, one thing about it, during that time, we were moving all over the place. And I was trying to give them a lesson that they can take with them and run off with. I never thought any of them was gonna stay with me forever. They didn't have to, but some of them didn't see the vision.
Indeed.
One person did, well, two. They saw it and they understood, I can only hold your hand for so long. Indeed. It gets expensive, man, and it's a lot of work.
Indeed. And you were a true leader, so you actually fed them.
Right.
And allowed them to feed into what was going on.
Right.
When you look at Jay, the way that he did with Benny Siegel and Freeway
and
Dash and all the rest of those, you carry a person as long as necessary. And it's like one of the greatest tasks in life is taking an individual, and especially a brother, from the prone to the perpendicular. There's nothing that matches that. Very few things.
You're right.
And you did your job.
I did my job. And you know what? I had fun doing it. I remember being live on television on New Year's.
Oh, man.
New Year's Eve, we was killing them.
Yes, sir.
And there was no denying.
Indeed.
I wasn't going anywhere and anybody was denying me, except maybe one occasion I had a situation that I didn't like.
A prankster.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I said, you only get one shot at that, man. You won't get a second shot. Indeed. But everything was learning in the process. So I may end up in Philly learning. Now I got to make sure everybody get home. Mm-hmm. And after all of that, I did internet radio, and now I'm on TV again.
Praises. And, we always said that television is the final frontier.
Yeah.
They can call it what they want to call it, podcast or whatever. It's television.
Right.
Just a mini us.
Right. Right. And I also do a podcast show called The Lock and Key podcast. Okay. And pretty much stay busy. You just, after a while, you get tired. You start running out of gas, man. And I'm a retiree, so I was working at the same time. Indeed. I was doing all of that.
And I mean, you was hitting that road. Brother.
What?
One suggestion and you took off flying.
Yeah, you did. You said, take it to the highway. That light went off.
Bing.
Yeah, I said, okay, it's time to go. Where you going now, Marv? I don't know. I'll tell you where I've been.
There you go. And sometimes if I wasn't on those trips with you, I couldn't wait for you to get back so I can hear the story of what happened.
Yeah, man.
Because there was always a story.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? They were all young. These kids were barely cracking 21.
That's right.
But they were in their 20s.
I mean, and you had the flair. You gave them the flair because you dressed them up.
Yeah.
Clockwork, bombers, you know what I'm saying? T-shirts, rags, and always had people ready to go up on a dazzling flyer.
Yeah.
And when we could, we'd give them a display in the magazine.
Right.
I think you made about 2 covers.
Yeah. Right. And I would, everything was a lesson to me. Mm-hmm. And so I would put something on and it'd be like, you ain't gonna see me this time.
There you go. There
They
you go.
they would come with theirs.
Indeed.
And
Indeed.
I respect it because I could see that they were learning. They got families now, all of them.
Yeah.
All of them got
Grown
families.
men.
Yeah, grown
And
men.
women.
Yeah, and women.
Yeah.
They got families now. So that I have no regrets.
Right. You shouldn't.
You know what I mean? And even like the show, The Clock Hour, I've had some incredible guests, including yourself.
Yes, sir.
Man, when
Yes,
I was look, we were the guests. Some of the guests that I had, people are still hollering at me about them.
Indeed, indeed. And you know, you're not going to lose that flair with your show when you actually do pick up
Right.
on it, because we got some fantastic people where you're going. You know, we got Big
Right.
Daddy Kane, Big Bub, AB Money. He
So
got
they
over
are
40
down
platinum. He got over 40 platinum albums.
So they
You know
are
what I mean?
down there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
I talk to them like almost daily or every other day.
Okay. I was thinking, trying to see who was where, and so far I didn't really know. But once I get in there and get settled in,
Yeah.
I can move
You gonna
around.
rock.
Yeah,
You gonna rock.
definitely. They're like, who are you?
Indeed, indeed.
Well, let me explain to you. I'll tell you.
And
who
you
I
will
am.
tell 'em.
And I'll tell them. Resume. Here's the
Indeed.
resume, and let's
Indeed.
go.
Indeed.
Because I got a homeboy down there from Harlem.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And he talk about doing something, but like I told somebody, I said, man, I'm not buying no new equipment, no new gear. I'm not buying nothing new.
Indeed.
We just
Indeed.
gonna rock with what we have. I'm not. If I can get a studio outside of my house, I may do that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm not trying to do all of that anymore. I want me a dog, man. Sit out in the backyard.
You ain't time for that yet.
Man, a dog.
It's not time for that yet. You still got work to do.
I do still got a book coming out.
Okay.
From the outside in. I got to finish that up.
Okay.
I got a little sidetracked. I was helping somebody else with their book. Matter of
Okay.
fact, she was a guest on the book, A Journey Too Tough to Quit by Sharon White.
Wow.
Look it up. Go get it. You know, I was a part of that. The concept of the cover and everything, that was me. You know, boom, 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 and I helped her out a little bit with the audio book.
I'm gonna give them some more history, because not only were you actually featured in showcases, Clockwork as an entity,
Right.
and you had a bunch of artists underneath you,
Right.
But the thing was that you did graphics. You did a lot of the initial JCT magazine and Eminem covers.
I
right?
did.
And you,
I still got.
like you said, a resume.
Yeah, I still got some of the covers with me. I keep them with me. The Eminem covers.
Yes, yes.
I love them, man.
And you went from there
Yeah.
to doing book covers for
Right.
people all over the nation.
Yeah, I mean, everything was a transition.
Indeed.
And you know, I give you your flowers on that because you pushed it
Yeah.
here.
Sometimes you should look at me kind of funny. I was like, you going?
I be thinking something. Nah, here.
Yeah. This is a lot, Pop.
You pushed
okay,
it.
you can do it, man. You can handle it.
Even like with the photography.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pushed
a lot
it.
of those shots inside of those magazines
Pushed
came
it.
from your hand. and we're going to step up from the graphics. We're going to step up to the radio.
Yeah,
You
pushed it.
went into the radio killing them, man.
And you know
like you was
what?
born there.
I got a lot of love coming from the South when I was on that.
Yes, sir. 'Cause
Lot
it was
of
hot.
love.
It was hot, brother. It was hot.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still listen to some of your shows. I mean,
Yeah, I
they
still
were hot
got
and
'em.
still play them. Still air them on the radio station to today.
Wow.
You know, because
That's
they were
funny.
hot.
Yeah.
You know, and
they were. I was moving then, man. I
Yeah.
had the energy.
Yeah, yeah.
I had it.
Yeah, you
Two
still
heart
got- you still got
two
it,
heart
brother.
attacks later.
Yeah, but you still got it. You're doing less now, so
Yeah.
you can sort of
I
put that
walk
energy
now.
towards some
Yeah.
things. Yeah, I mean that's critical, brother.
Yeah, I walked
Walking
instead
is
of running.
critical. Yeah,
I was running, man. It was bad too,
you,
man.
you
But
was- you already had bought you some wings. You were starting to fly, bro.
yeah, yeah. You know what I just wish I could have got close to a distribution deal, because I felt that if we would have ran our own thing here, we would have been all right.
Indeed.
And that way each person could have branched off and started signing artists and cultivating artists the same way I did them. You know what I mean? that was my wish. Like, listen, we get some money, man. We could do
These things.
do these things. But, you know, a lot of times people listen to other people and get sidetracked, man. And you know, it's just okay.
I'm gonna tell you one thing that we run into in the industry a lot is you'll have a parent, whether mother or dad, they started to enter into the industry. They never really went through the proper doors.
Right.
And now they want to instruct a person who you got a dream plan in place for on how to become that model.
Right.
How to become that singer, that dancer, that actor. And they've never reached that plateau themselves or anywhere close to it. So how can they possibly give you a design?
Right, because one young lady, she said, I don't want to sound like a momager, but, you know, my daughter's very, you know, my such and such is very talented.
Sure.
My thing was, they're not going to know it. They may know it after they look down her shirt and everything. So we're trying to get past that so you hear her first.
Give them a platform
Right.
in which to show that they're talented. Don't tell
Right.
me, because I don't
Right.
believe nothing anyone say.
Right.
Show me.
I was trying to tone it down so that way you're not selling lunch.
There you go.
We ain't trying to sell lunch. We're trying to sell dinner and
Future.
Yeah, and futures and stuff. So, you know, I was big on that, man. I didn't want that rumor that anybody was messing with my artists. I didn't, and we wasn't gonna do that. I was very protective, and
Indeed.
my mom just asked,
Like a
why
good
you
leader, a good
always
dad."
yelling at them? I said,
Sometimes they need it, Mom.
time. You know, if you're always late, you're gonna always be late. Time. So I used to tell them, like, if the show starts at 10, I would tell them it starts at 9.
Yes.
So I can get an
Grace
hour
period. Yeah.
from them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be there at 8. We're ready to go at 8. Okay. Or there's 7. I need y'all there at 7. We gotta be there
At 8.
for 8.
Yeah.
So I would push the number up to get them there so we get there on time.
Like a Poppa rooster, you know your offspring.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So you have to give them what they need.
Right,
And
right.
That's the main thing
Right.
about management or about doing anything in this industry.
Yeah.
You always got to know your position, fall in place, and do accordingly. And nothing can stop a well-written plan backed up with serious drive and
Right.
determination. And that's what you have to focus on.
Because we was a machine, man.
Indeed.
Everywhere we went. We'd come in the building and they'd be like, uh-oh, a machine.
Here they come again.
Somebody even told him, yeah, this is what Marv do when he come in. He come in, he greet everybody, walk straight to the DJ or whoever's hosting the event and go straight to the DJ, give a CD to the DJ, look around, make sure y'all in position and let y'all know when y'all going. So they would watch me come in the door, do what I did, and it was the same thing. But this way, it kept us professional.
Indeed.
s-
Routine.
Yeah.
Which is another key word in the ladder
Right.
of success. You have to have some things built in routine.
Right. I told him, I said, man, we gonna become the biggest nobodies that everybody knows.
There you go. That's fine.
And they scratched their head about it. I said, now repeat what I just said. The biggest nobodies that everybody knows.
And that's positive.
I said, and that's what we did.
Why they say the phonetics of words,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, we know that if you get those words in your heart and you get them in your mind,
Right.
you're going to excel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they tell you in the beginning was the word was God, and the word was with God, right? So the thing is that if you operate under those premises, then you're going to succeed.
Right.
You know, not sitting around believing that just prayer and hope is going to get it done for you. You got to put some labor to it. You know,
Right,
you got to
right.
put in the work as well.
Right.
And who's going to stop you? Only you.
Only me, man.
There you
Look, I'll go through emotion and just be tired, just tired of, and I'll stay in the house, you know, because it's like you have to recharge. If you don't recharge, you'll burn out. And even with my show, I didn't want to burn out because my guests were so important and they had to be interesting. Like at the end of the shows, I'd end up staying here a whole nother hour, half an hour, having a conversation
Indeed, that's
with the
positive.
guests and about the guests, and
That's positive.
you know, people get their viewpoints of everything. So this has been a hell of a run. This has been a run, man. And I've enjoyed every step of it. Even, you know, when I first started editing and stuff like that, I had once I got my system, I can throw it in there, boom, 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 boom,
Indeed.
and
Indeed.
have it done.
Again, going back to that term routine.
Yeah.
Because within a routine has to be a system.
Right.
You know, and you've developed some hellified systems.
Yeah.
Me and Big Al used to say sometimes, how does brother get all this done?
I don't-
Time is an issue. I said, bro, where you find the time? He says, that's one of the things I learned in the Navy
Right.
is how to regulate and delegate time.
That time. Look, I can get up as long as, you know, now it's, let me get a cup of coffee in me and I'm good, you know, but you look at it and you say, well, let me go ahead and get this. This is what the Navy do. We get everything done by lunchtime. So that way we can coast after lunch, or you can get dismissed early.
There you go.
So in the Navy, you'll see everybody working early, and they'll work up until lunchtime. Lunchtime come around, okay,
cruising.
yeah. You got everything done? Yeah, you got everything done. Like my last command, this was funny, in 96.
Okay.
You know, people ready to go. It's like 3 o'clock. We're ready to go. And they like, yo, what's up? Can we leave? They talking to Homeboy. Homeboy would go back down and come back with more work.
Wow.
I said, why do y'all keep asking him that?
Wow.
I said, every time he goes down there and comes back up, he comes back up with something else for y'all to do.
Wow.
I'm like, look, we'll talk about this tomorrow. I'm out.
That's beautiful.
I will leave.
That's beautiful.
You know, because there's a way to be a leader. They wanted him as their leading petty officer, which I came in originally re-enlisted to fill that position.
Okay. Okay.
So, you know, they sent me to the Leadership Academy and everything. So I understood. And then what was crazy, they was making the cooks stay overnight. I said, cooks don't stay overnight. They don't have a watch shift. You don't need them on board. They said, well, your people don't want to come to work. I pulled them all in the kitchen. I said, let's have a
Check
conversation.
time, huh?
Yeah. Nah. Now, here's what I'm going to do. After I speak up, after I chastise them, I said, meet me at the bar tonight. I'll buy you a drink.
Praises.
And they was on point
Regulating.
by the time I was done. I said, I'm going to speak up.
Regulating.
But don't make me look crazy. These were young dudes. And I said, check this out. I chastise them and pet them later.
So you got a full resume.
Yeah.
I got to get you on AB's Money podcast, Walking with the Legends. Everybody from Rakim to everybody's been through there. You deserve to be up there, brother.
Word,
There,
yeah.
and get you
and
on.
I can
that-
rhyme too,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, and get you on that chick. What's it? Is it that chicken, biz show too? She got a podcast. I got to get you on there
Yeah,
too.
get
because-
me on there.
yeah.
I can rhyme too. They don't know. I got some bars.
He used to turn the shows out. I mean, he was pushing his artists,
I
and
got
then the next thing
bars.
you know, the folks used to come over, the other celebrities would come over and say, "Man, how did the manager get to be better than the students, right? Than the artists?" And the artists didn't like it too tough, but the thing
Nah.
is, he was putting in the work.
They had to, because if I'm teaching you and telling you, this is what you did wrong. This is where you're going wrong. This is what you're doing wrong. Now I'm gonna show you how you should do it. So this way you can't say, Marv talking and he ain't never done this. Yes, I have. So this is what you're doing wrong. And they know when I start, I'm like, I could show you better than I could tell you.
Yeah, you showed it.
I showed them.
Everything, and everybody stopped and had to take note when you performed.
Yeah. It was like, wait a minute. He was,
Who this?
I
thought
remember
he was
we-
just the manager.
yeah, we went to North Carolina one year during that tournament time. So I let everybody rock. The crowd started dissipating. I said, uh-oh.
Time to pull a man.
Yeah. I said, you know, put that on.
Put that on.
Let's go. And you hear it. what we gonna do is go back.
Way back.
Yeah, back in the time. And it comes on, doom, da doom, doom, da doom, doom, and let's go. Brought the
Indeed.
crowd back.
That's right.
Now we want to keep, because my thing is, let's keep it at this level. It has to be, if it's at this level, let's keep it there. Only place else we can go is up or down.
right.
When you go down, that's,
lose.
yeah, you're finished. So let's keep them up here. Everybody wants to be up here when they come in a club or come see a performance. Everybody.
Exactly.
That's like some of the artists that's out now. Some of them really can't rhyme, but they put on a hell of a show.
Yeah. That's what everybody should say about Usher.
Yeah.
They say Usher has an okay voice,
Right.
but the thing is, you don't know that he's a sensation to you
Right.
because his performance is outstanding.
Right.
You know, and there's quite a few folks out there like that. You know.
Like that new young lady, what's her name? Dolce? Dolce? She nice.
She
I think
can
she
perform.
from the West. Yeah, she can perform and she hold her own on that mic.
I remember we went down to meet the head of the Atlantic Records and the top R&B producer, Daryl J.
Yeah.
And they had just, it was you and I. And my kids.
Okay,
We
yeah.
took you down and
Yeah.
and
When y'all had
they
me-
had just finished Usher's album.
Y'all had me
You understand?
running through the city, man. Man, I said, I can't keep up with all this. I remember that
they were
day.
soldiers. They were soldiers.
Man, I'd look down, they down the street. Where they going? They know they all right.
Routine.
They know.
Routine.
Like, man. And you know what's incredible to me, and I've always respected the city.
Yes, sir.
Once y'all taught your kids how to ride that train,
Yeah.
they could go anywhere.
Yeah.
Once y'all taught your kids how to ride that train, or they could go anywhere. This young lady, I had a friend down there in the Bronx. She said, look, take my niece with you. Her niece would,
Navigate.
yeah, turn this way, Marv, turn this way, Marv. She's a teenager.
Yeah.
She don't drive, but she knew where to go.
Get you anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Navigation is a key term, bro.
And it's an advancement. So this is what's happening when it comes down to North and South. So those Northern people are really striking it with an influence down there now that the South is picking up on. The South, there's some parts you can still go and kick back, kick your feet up and drink on the porch.
That's right. That's right. That's living, brother.
Yeah.
Being able to do what you do in a relaxed mode.
Trailer here, trailer there, trailer there, trailer there, and trailer there. Yeah,
Let me ask you
man.
something. When you navigated through Atlantic Records, right? Because you know you're going to scout.
Yeah.
Right? What was one of the biggest key things that you found out that day, or you deciphered from just having access?
That they had everything that I had. You know,
And some had less.
did locally, Connecticut, we were doing it.
Exactly.
We could have been, but you know what happens? Everybody from my generation criticize a leader. We don't take a leader like my elders did when it came down to Dr. King and Malcolm X. They held them to task.
Indeed.
But they wasn't, I ain't messing with him because I ain't messing. Those who
Excuses.
didn't, those who didn't, those who did.
Indeed.
But our problem is we are so critical of each other.
Indeed.
Oh, he can't lead, so and so. Who? If I had to, I would.
There you go. There you go.
But this is why our leaders are missing. Because and if I was even willing to take a seat with whoever wanted to take over this out here.
Yeah.
Even though I was capable of doing everything. I would have took a seat.
Indeed. Talking about leaders, I just want to make sure that we always give props. You know, leaders came before me,
Right.
such as Adam Clayton Powell.
Right.
A lot of people, they mentioned Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And the great ones, Marcus Garvey and Malcolm Shabazz, a.k.a. Malcolm X, and so forth. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, right, and so forth. But the thing is that I want them to always look a little deeper. There were guys like Julian Barnes, right, from Jordan
Right.
and down there and so forth. And you had Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Don't ever forget
Yeah.
about him.
and Fred Hampton.
Oh, please.
Fred Hampton
Please.
was a bad dude, man. Look, and then he was only 20. He was in his 20s.
Yeah.
So,
He had
you
a
know,
vision.
yeah.
He had a
And you know, I respect Jesse Jackson because he was doing the similar thing. He was doing this. But this dude, he was incredible. But as always, this show must come to an end today. I appreciate you, Pop.
Always, brother.
I appreciate you, Al, Big Al, man, and the other Al, man. I got a lot of love for y'all, man. I love y'all, and thank you as always for the opportunity, you know, coming on board and rocking here with y'all the Clock Hour. Like I always say, it's for the people, by the people, about the people. That's the Clock Hour. Peace. Marv Kennel signing off.